Hey guys, what is this over here? I didn't see this. So sorry about the black screen. It's just, I don't have a stitch of makeup on, and you need to see it all that. So I'm just waiting for the room to fill up here. This is a response video to the many inquiries that I've received of telling my story. This is a story that this dates back way past 2007. I know that I use that as a springboard year because a lot of shit went down that year. But it's really, really, really been happening way before that. Okay, so hey, Philly. So it's quite involved, the story. So if you have any specific questions, ask me anything about what you want to know about me, as long as it's not too personal. Okay. And I'll let you know if it's too personal, but I'm pretty open on this channel as to how I feel, how I think, and what my opinions are on things. Quite opinionated. It's not like somebody could shut me up, right? So yeah, if you guys have any questions, I will be happy to answer them. I met my masculine in 2016. Okay, and we had been talking back and forth before that, but I met him in 2016, and we officially met each other in person on October 2nd of 2016, which today is the 2nd, I do believe, right? So this is, let me see. Yep. So this is, let's see, 16, 17, 18, 19, 3 years. 3 years. So a lot of things have happened to me leading up to meeting masculine. And when you think about the things that have happened leading up to that, it makes you even appreciate the not so glamorous parts, because you learned something from that. You can't just go through life, especially when you're a spiritual person, just skipping through the daisies. We're meant to be strong. We're meant to be not only strong in mind, but strong in heart and strong in spirit. And the only way to do that sometimes is to let you fall on your face a couple of times. You'll skin your knee, but you'll definitely learn something. So I'm surprised there's no questions here. I would think that you guys had a lot of questions, quite honest, but I guess I gotta break the ice, right? Okay. What do you do or deal with non-communication in addition to outside karmics besides wife? Okay. The non-communication, I'm going to tell you, treat your spiritual communication with your masculine. Don't define it as physical or spiritual communication. It's communication. That's the best thing that I can tell you for that part. Because a lot of times, quite honestly, the spiritual communication doesn't have any filters, any ego to pass through, and you just get everything straight, no filter. Like there was the time that I was in Barnes and Noble. I think you guys know about this one. And I'm deciding between books, and it's like, and I like to read, I do. But sometimes I can't find the time. Look, I'm a very busy woman. I don't have time to sit and read a whole book, cover to cover, for a couple hours. It's like I'm always either getting a phone call, getting a text message, having to do this, having to do that, oh, go pick up this. It's like I don't have time to just, sit and read as much as I'd like. But as far as the communication, 5D communication, I find it to be a lot better sometimes than the physical communication, in the respect that, like I said, you're not going to get any of the ego. You just get it straight, no filter. And what had happened in that store is, I'm, as I said, deciding between two books, and admittedly, I was going to get the Cliff Notes on it, okay, or their Cliff Notes version, to save myself some time. And I could hear my masculine's voice clear as a bell, clear as day. Do yourself a favor and get yourself the text. Or, you know, he said it like so clearly, and it's like almost like he was on my left side, like whispering in my ear, "Babe, do yourself a favor and get the text." And I'm like, okay, all right, I'm not gonna argue with that. Okay, it's like, with spiritual communication, it's 24/7, 365. With physical communication, as much as we want it, as much as we would like it, we have access to spiritual communication all the time. Whereas with the limited physical communication, it's allotted to the hours in the day or their circumstances. There are no circumstances spiritually. So a lot of times when you want to tune into your masculine, all you have to do is close your eyes, do a little tapping thing, and you instantly connect to him. Okay. So I hope that answers that question. Anybody have any other questions? That's a wonderful question, Philly, by the way. So, and I'm sure that, you know, a lot of people had that question. Now, as far as how I discovered twin flame, it's kind of been in my periphery for a while, and it didn't really come to complete fruition until 2013. In 2013, I went through a lot. Okay, let's back it up a bit. Okay, 2007, everything was going swimmingly good. Wonderful job, stellar credit, you know, all my bills paid, money in the bank, food in my cupboard, and, you know, being able to put my feet up on my own couch and everything. And I had met a man when I was working at the job at the time that was related to one of the, well, a couple of the family members at the time. To make a very, very long story short, he was a catalyst, because when you talk about twin flame, there is different sectors and there are different roles that different people play. And I didn't know there was such a thing called twin flame at the time. I thought the highest was soulmate. And I thought the man was my soulmate, because there was, boom, instant connection, and, you know, already, you know, talks of, you know, being serious and everything. And it did put the family members on high alert, you know, because it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Y'all just met, you know, but there was a connection there. But to make a long story even longer, some things had happened, personal tragedy, the same day that he had decided to leave. And for all intents and purposes, he had told me, "I need you to wait for me." So, of course, you know, it's like, you're feeling a connection with somebody, you're not going to question anything, right? So I did for a whole 10 years. Let me tell you something. Okay. Waiting for somebody for that long that made a promise to you, it's going to give you some kind of what's the word I'm looking for? You're going to have expectations, right? Especially when you're very idealistic, and I was always idealistic. You know, I believe in, you know, marriage and children and the traditional family life. And when this person said, I need you to wait for me, I was not expecting to be abandoned. I was not expecting it. So in addition to experiencing this tragedy, this personal tragedy in my life, a family member had passed on. That same day, he chooses to tell me, I need you to wait for me. So it's like, and then poof, just ghosted me, just completely and utterly ghosted me. So of course, you go from being on cloud nine because, you've dealt with fuckboys. I mean, fuckboy after fuckboy after fuckboy after fuckboy, prior to this person is different. You kind of cling on to that, right? So, when he had said that, I had no reason at the time to believe that I would be essentially abandoned, right? And I'm not going to tell the whole story today. This is only part one, but I had waited. And even though after about a year, I had essentially moved on, because you do need human companionship. Okay. I had moved on after a year and some months, right? I had moved on and gotten married, and this is all leading up to what had happened in 2013. Okay. Everybody is placed in your life for a reason, and people are taken out of your lives for a reason. Now, I do believe that this person that had essentially ghosted, right, had been the catalyst for me putting boundaries up. Because I'm going to tell you something. I didn't have any boundaries, right? Or not very many. And this is a little difficult to recount to you guys, all right? It's like, this is really digging deep into the archives here. Okay. And as I said before, I had no reason to think that this person was going to just poof, disappear like a ghost. And fast forward, I'm giving you the highlights here, guys, because I'm not going to carve out 2 hours out of your time here because it's quite involved. But what had basically happened is there was a change in 2013. Now, this all started for a lot of people in 2012 with the Mayan calendar, but mine was a little, I guess, depending on what your particular job is as a spiritual being to do, you're going to have different timelines. Okay. So mine didn't really happen in 2012. It happened in 2013. And I just remember feeling that day, something activated within my chest, within my heart chakra space. It was like an electric pulse had been activated, like a switch had been activated. And it was like kind of like moving me towards this person that I was not even aware existed yet. I had no idea that twin had existed. Okay. And I don't know if anybody has ever felt this. Hey, brown sugar. Hi, honey. I'm chewing everybody's ear off about my life story here. So anybody that's coming on. So basically what had happened, and please let me know if you guys have ever felt this too. That day, I'll never forget. It was like a change had happened. My heart chakra had been activated to a point where I feel that it was masculine touching my heart. Like, it's time, it's time, it's time. And I didn't even know this at the time. Okay. But that relationship ended, and, I had gone through my the first one had led to a depression, a deep depression. Okay. Because it triggered any abandonment issues, because, I had dealt with fuckboys, prior, so it triggered any abandonment issues within me that had not been healed. And when this heart activation happened, it's almost like my heart was crystalline. That's what I had envisioned it as. It felt electric. It didn't feel like a muscle in my body anymore, just doing its job. It felt like something had been switched on. And that was I feel now that I'm recounting this, the SOS that divine masculine needed to find me, I needed to find divine masculine. Okay, so by this time, I had already discovered the term twin flame, and, it was in the periphery, but I wasn't really actively searching it. And not until I met my twin, which I gush about all the time on this channel, and just be used to that, because I'm going to gush about him because he's gushable. I like going on and on about him. Okay. If y'all met him, you would understand why. Okay. So if he's watching right now, babe, I hold him in high regard. But it's not until I met my twin that I realized it was just not games before, but it was like, it wasn't the mature, spiritually mature, even though the ex-husband always, supported my spiritual path, always did. And I was lucky for that. You know what I mean? And I'm going back and forth here, guys. I'm very, very sorry, because as I recount things, I do have to go back and forth. I remember one experience with the ex-husband. It was late one night. We were all hanging out, and the person that I was hanging out with at the time, was spiritual too. And I remember, and I'll never forget this, Archangel Michael sitting right next to me. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you, the best way to describe him, what he looked like, and I hope he doesn't mind me describing him, because there's a lot of people watching me. And he's kind of like a silent watchman, right? He's like, just say the word whenever you need it. I'll just be here. I know that you're kind of like, you're very strong in the way you deliver things and everything. And, you don't like to depend on anybody else, but I'm here just in case, right? And he's always with me. Always, 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 always with me. Okay. Mother Mary as well. When I was going through my depression, there was a time when I did not want to wake up. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. Okay. I did not want to wake up. And it's in that time where I realized that these people that we venerate, and these deities that we give our faith to and everything, they do actually exist. And that crisis of faith had been over at that point, because it's not until you are at the depths, okay, that when they appear, there is no fucking question. And Mother Mary appeared the way Mother Mary is. And I'm not sure if she appears like this to you guys, but the way she appeared to me was, oh, no, we're not going to do this. See, this is what we're not going to do. See, she's venerated as this sweet, docile, and, she is very sweet and very kind, but she is a mother first and foremost. Okay. So when one of her daughters, and I'm getting chills. Hi, Mom. is considering something that's going to end her path and not be able to help others that come towards her on the path. That's when it's like, no, boom, I could actually hear the conversation in heaven. When that happens, there is no ego there anymore. That's it. There's that direct line, like a telephone line to heaven. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just reading the comments right now. Yeah. Yes, an energetic pull. And when I heard the conversation going on between her and everybody else in heaven, I'm getting chills. Whew, okay. No, this is what we're not going to do. This, you see, no, this is not what we're going to do here. You are going to do your job and we're going to help you, but you're not going to quit on us. We need you. So, when you're in a depression, you don't want to hear any of that. It's like you kind of want to be miserable. When you're depressed, you kind of want to be miserable, right? Because you're trying to lift yourself out of it, but it's like, and I remember telling myself, if I wake up tomorrow morning, I'll know that I'm supposed to go on with this mission. Okay. If I don't meet my maker, I'll know that I'm supposed to go on with this mission. Okay. And I've always had that in the back of my mind, the whole spiritual part of me. And that's why, not a lot of people resonated with me, because they were very low vibrational. And it's very hard for a person to work amongst people that are low vibrational. But it's not until that moment. And that's not the only moment, guys. Believe me, this is going to be a mini series. Okay. It's been quite a bit of things that have happened that, well, maybe this chick knows what the hell she's talking about. just maybe. So Mother Mary she's very tough, okay? But she doesn't have that persona as tough. It's more of a very stable, grounded, no, this is not what we're going to do. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to pull yourself up by the bootstraps. You're going to wake up, you're going to wash your face, and you're going to get to work. Okay. Of course, I dragged my sorry ass around for the couple of days after that, but there was that sense of, okay, you exist. Okay. And moving back fast forward into 2013, when that heart activation had happened, it's like the heart was crystalline, like sparkling, like all kinds of, like those sparklers that you used to hold on the 4th of July, that kind of thing. And like, if you kind of get hit in the hand and everything, it gives you a little spark or whatever. It was like that, but like this white ball, this center, right? It didn't even look like a heart, actually. It's like a center, right? And what I'm getting now, the basis of all your activity and your mission, right? And things had happened. The divorce had happened because he did what he was supposed to do. He came into my life to offer love as a salve to my broken heart from being abandoned and ghosted. Okay. But that person was not supposed to stay, because if it hadn't been for him, it wouldn't have pushed me onto this journey. Okay. And getting back to, I know I'm back and forth here, guys. Just try to keep up. Okay. Getting back to the meeting of Archangel Michael, to describe what he looked like. Big muscles, but not like gross, right? You can tell he was strong, right? But he wasn't like flexing. He doesn't have to. He's Archangel Michael, right? And I remember him saying, God, I'm going to freaking cry now. I remember him saying, because he knew what was coming up for me. He knew what was coming up for me. Sorry, guys. He pointed to his breastplate, because he wears armor, right? He pointed to his breastplate and he goes to me, oh, just to describe him just a little bit. Medium length hair to his shoulders. Like I said, he had a big breastplate and hardly containing the big muscles because he has to be strong. He's the spiritual bouncer. But I remember him saying and pointing, and all the while, these rainbow lights were going up and down my entire body, right? Which was the activation of all and the firing up of all my chakras, just up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Sort of like a disco light, right? And he tells me, if you need strength, he points to his breastplate and to his heart. You can take mine. Now, I know he's there, and the thing is that I like to depend on myself, but there are times when I need to lean on the entities that have been there for me since the very beginning. Fast forward to about 2013, 14. Yeah, 2014, I feel it was. Yeah, 2014. I had to do a bit of traveling. I had become homeless and I had to do a bit of traveling. Everything that I owned in 2 suitcases and just surviving. And I remember being provided for even whilst I was traveling. Because I do remember contacting this person that I had dealt with before and say, look, I need your help, and he basically told me, I can't help you, so, it's like, you don't need to be bopped over the head too many times to realize, okay, all right, maybe you're not part of this plan as I thought you were. And wow, this is just making me recollect some just really, really, wow. I remember having to scrimp and save 1 bag of popcorn and only eating 3 kernels a day and hoping that I wouldn't pass out because I was afraid of not being able to eat or where my next meal was coming from. I remember also experiencing what homeless people do experience and getting a glimpse into the system. And even though I always had a roof over my head, whether it be some voucher that they gave, to stay in a room or something, I had a roof over my head. And I'll never forget, I was staying at a house, like, before it was able to be like painted and repaired and all of that stuff, just so that I wouldn't be out in the streets, right? And I remember it was the floor waxer that was waxing the floors that basically told me, I did good this week. Let me help you out. And he gives me $100. I didn't have to starve. Of course, it doesn't take much to make a prideful person, which there's no pride when you're struggling and traveling. Okay. I fell to my knees and thank God and saw him for exactly who he is. So sorry about the phone in the background. Hold on. Let me turn that off. Hold on. I'll be right back, guys. It's annoying. Freaking scammers. Oh, it's so annoying with those scam calls. Oh, annoying. Anyway, where was I? Yeah. So basically, I went from scavenging 3 pieces of popcorn a day to not completely pass out and black out to having $100. But then again, that I had to learn that there is no lack, that we're always provided for. And I didn't want to spend the money too much because it's like I didn't know how long I was going to be in that situation. Okay, so I did have to save a portion of it. This is very difficult for me, guys. This is very difficult to recollect, okay? So when I come on here and I talk about being strong, I have a basis on that of being strong. Now, these are the highlights of what has happened up till now that got me here. I suppose that I've been this way all my life, but not even realize it, because I would notice things, but just not speak on it. And that's with this channel has healed me in such a way that with you wonderful people have let me discover that I have something of value to say, which healed that part of me. So thank you for that. You are elemental in that healing process for me, validating my concerns and validating what I have to say. So for your part, I thank you guys. Yeah, those are the highlights of what has happened to me. And this is really the basis of why I do my work, why I tell you guys to be strong, because we can't avoid certain uncomfortable things in our lives, especially if they are meant to teach us a very, very valuable lesson. What we do take from it is, what's the lesson here? Bernie, you have a voice. You have something valuable to say. Speak loud, speak proud, don't be afraid to say it. That's what I have learned for the couple of years that I've been on this channel, okay? And it's actually extended to other areas of my life. I don't let myself be taken advantage of. If I can speak up here, I can speak up everywhere else. You know what I mean? It's like you have to practice what you preach. So, yeah. So that was my how I came to discover Twin Flame. Okay. And I'm going to tell you, when I met him, I knew this was different. Okay. This gets to the nice flowery part. Okay. This gets to the nice flowery part. I remember being on the first date in Union Square in New York City. And I'm sure if he's watching, he remembers this too. Okay. I remember us going to Namaste, which is a spiritual bookstore. And I still have the deck of cards that I got on that date. Okay. And I also still have the selenite crystal that he bought me, that he said, and I quote, "I feel I need to buy this for you." Okay. If you know anything about selenite, it's the moon goddess stone. So it's like he knew something was there. Okay. And in our talks and everything, there was just this familiarity and this comfort and this sense of home. And whenever we have spoken, it's been like that. We speak on some very, very deep subjects. And quite honestly, we were talking about physical communication earlier. You know, if anything, that's what I miss about the physical communication, is how deep the talks used to go and how we would talk about everything. Oh my God, two geeks talking way into the night about things that we had in common. I remember one of my favorite conversations is about how we were talking about how we grew up watching wrestling and certain what you call it, certain I guess you'll call them characters, because they, they play a role in everything that we both liked and everything, childhood cartoons and everything. It's like, I'm like, and the thing is you're talking to this person, and it's like, I'm sure I bumped into you somewhere along the way and not even realized it. I might have bumped into this man in the subway and not even realized it. Because you don't know. So I hope I'm not boring you guys, because I'm not seeing the chat moving at all. Don't fall asleep, guys. But even now, his influence on my life, and how I approach things, he has affected my life in a very positive way. Even though we're not speaking right now, I still hear his voice in my head. It's like, when I'm about to make a decision or something, case in point, the books, it's like, hey, do me a favor, or do yourself a favor. He said, do yourself a favor and get the actual text. I was like, okay. Which I can take that to mean something now, since we're not talking and everything, recollecting this, but let's, this is not my thing. I can't push it faster than it's supposed to go. Okay. Yes, Philly, the comfortability. Yep. So you guys know me a lot more now than you have before. So this is all to let you know that when I talk about something, it's not because, I'm saying it because it sounds good. It's because I have a belief system attached to it. So the best way that I can teach you guys is through personal experience, and that's the best way to do these things. If you're not knocked down on your ass a couple of times, how much are you going to learn? So no, it's not. It's not, Jeanette. So yeah, comments, questions. I had to compose myself again. So any comments, questions? Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes, Philly. One of my favorite things to do is to rest my ear on his chest and to hear his heartbeat. And it's always beating so fast for me. Always beating fast. Whenever I have my head on his chest, it beats so fast. It's like, I'm like, oh, lay swoon. He's just, he gives the best hugs. Okay. Anybody that's had the good fortune to get a hug from this man, he gives the best warm hugs, just so you know. Okay, hold on a second. Hey. Yep, I just have to respond to this. Just a minute, guys. I hate autocorrect. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Dang it. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, it's not so much the when we say we miss our masculines, we miss their touch. There's something healing about their touch, and it's something that neither of the twins can go any length of time without. Okay. And the connection sitting together that I know this person. Uh-huh. It's the eyes, isn't it, Philly? It's the eyes. If you guys ever seen this man's eyes, oh my God. He has such beautiful eyes. It's like, and he knows that I gush about his eyes all the time and his smile and everything else. And, because I love the man, of course, I'm going to gush about him, but it's those eyes. It's like, I can't, it's like, I look and I find myself falling into him. You know what I mean? Yes. So thanks you guys for being so responsive to this story, my story about how I came to know things. A couple of people have asked how I discovered my spiritual gifts. The one time that I knew that I was different, and for the sake of saying different, like, not that I should be, considered special or anything, because I'm not the only one that has these gifts, okay? But I remember discovering my mediumship ability when I went to this, I don't know what kind of church you would call it, but everybody was wearing black, and it's just oof. I had went with my friend and my then husband and her child. And there was a courtyard in the front. And I really picked up on some very heavy spiritual energy there. That it was so thick you can cut it with a knife. And it just made me very uneasy and uncomfortable. But I was like, no, I'm not going to do this, because if I'm frightened of everything, then I won't ascend. You can't be afraid of everything. Okay. I mean, recognize your feelings, because that's where the power is recognizing your feelings. Because as women, our power is in our feelings and our intuition. So we get inside and they're going through the service and everything, and they're kind of looking over at us. And I did not get a good feeling. I perceived of them as having very sharp teeth. Even though you couldn't see it, it's an impression that I get of a person oracally. You don't have to actually, obviously, if somebody looked like that, you would go screaming for the hills, of course. But I remember us leaving in a hurry, because I had told her, look, we got to get out of here. Okay. And I explained to her what I was feeling. She's like, yeah, we're not coming back here. Okay. They looked like they wanted to eat us. Okay. And I don't know if that was some kind of like cover satanic church or something that we had kind of waltzed into and not even known it. But if you're getting that feeling, it's like, okay, time to mosey on out. Okay. Don't make yourself known. It's like, okay, time to go. Let's never go here again. No, never did. And you just learn things. You learn things along the way, and you kind of have them in the back of your mind, in the back of your library, your spiritual mental library. And that's an experience I'll never forget. Okay. And just recently, having that confirmed about my mediumship abilities, having that Victorian dressed woman with no head walking through my wall. Yeah. Yeah, I see spirits. Okay. And they're not very apologetic about showing up at the most inopportune times.
There have been times that I've been in the shower and they appear out of thin air. I'm like, do you mind? Do you mind a little privacy here, okay? And let's face it, wherever we live, I'm sure that there's some kind of history to the place that we're at. Okay. When you move into a new apartment, whenever you guys move into a new apartment, I always have to tell you guys, sage it and perhaps get somebody to come in to, kind of scan the rooms and see if there's anything that you should be aware of, because the last thing you want to do is plunk down the deposit just to have to leave. You know what I mean? So always, on top of everything else, have somebody come in and survey the place. Okay. So, oh, geez. I'm so sorry, Jeanette. Yeah. Yep. The eyes have it, as they say. Thank you, LH. Thank you, honey. I've been through some shit, guys. My sister tells me all the time, damn, Bernie, you're so resilient. And it's like, kind of have to be. It's like, you can't fall apart. People are depending on you. And it's like, it's kind of my Taurus thing. We like to be the ones that are depended on and everything. And also my Aries Vedic, which, prevents me from, giving up. So combine the two horns there. It's like, very, very strong and hella Scorpio all throughout my chart. So it's like, there was no way that, I was ever going to give up, because the Scorpios are the detectives and the horns, we don't give up either. So with strength with strength comes perseverance. Absolutely. So, all right. If there's no other questions, I guess I'm gonna cut it off here. There will be a part 2 to this. I'm going to upload a video that I have here. I just got to make a little adjustments to it. Make sure, grammatically everything is correct. I don't like sounding like a damn fool. And that's that. I just wanted to come on here and just kind of like chit chat with you guys and have you guys get to know me, and, and hopefully some or all of the things that I've said can help you realize something that you needed to realize and helps you in your journey. That's what I'm here for. It's like, obviously, what has happened to you is not only going to strengthen you, but going to strengthen somebody that needs to hear the relatability in it. And my heart just went fucking crazy. Wow. I feel your hearts, guys. I can feel you guys. I can totally feel you guys. Oh, we're one heart. All of us are one heart. Oh, wow. I don't know. Anybody feel that? The little heart palpitations? Thanks, Philly. It's like, I don't shy away from telling people about myself. It's like, if I'm going to expose what's going on, it's like, I have to share, the things that I've been through as well. Yeah. Yeah, Philly. Oh, wow. Yeah, it does. I love you guys so much. You don't even realize. I love you very, very, very much. I'm very invested in your happiness. I'm invested in every single one of you. That's why I'm so vehement about, exposing things that are going on. And, I don't want you to be swindled and it's, I may come off a little strong sometimes in my delivery, but, it's all to, because I care about you. I honestly do care about you. I love you guys. Wow. Wow. Oh, LH, sweetheart. Big, big warm hugs to you, dear. It's the universal heart. It's the universal heart.
All right, guys. I need a drink of water or something because I need to take a few moments after this video to kind of recompose myself. All right, guys. Love you very, very much, and look out for the other video that I put on. I have it recorded already. It's just a matter of just editing and stuff like that. So, all right, guys. Love you so much, and I will talk to you soon. And don't be a stranger. Comment, and if you want to connect with me on social media, all of that information is in the about section in my on my channel here. And again, available for personal readings whenever you feel that I can help you. So if you feel I can, reach out. Love you guys so much. And before my heart explodes out of my chest here, because I'm a little overwhelmed right now, I'm going to shut this off. Okay, guys? Love you all. Power of the universal heart. Love you guys.